This section deals with adding speed to your synchronization. Synchronization speed is equal to the amount of data processed. The more the data you have, the slower the synchronization. The less the data you have, the faster the synchronization. 123 Synchronizer provides a set of settings that will help you speed up the synchronization. One of them is using groups or calendar, creating smaller contact sets to synchronize. Another one is the notes and history filtering. You can filter them by date and by type. Another is activities filtering. You don't want to synchronize all the activities, like 10 years of data. You just want to focus on the last 6 months. Also, you can filter history types, what type of history items you want to synchronize. A lot of history items in ACT are primarily for bookkeeping, and this is one way of doing it. And also we provide what is called an intelligent updater that you can use in special configurations that speed up synchronization. So let's go to the synchronizer and see how we can improve this. Let's go to contact filters. On the contact filters, we can, if you're running a synchronization with an Outlook PST file, you can use the enable intelligent updater. What that does, it takes the date here that is on the modification date filter, and it will synchronize all the modifications after that date. So it's one way of synchronizing fast and efficiently. There's a caveat on this. This only works if you're running it against an Outlook PST file. If you're running it on an Exchange or anything that's outside the PST where the date modification date can be relied upon, this does not work. So it's good when it works, but that's about it. Only for PSTs. You can select a group. So only select a particular group that you're interested. What we've seen, another great option is only the contacts with the calendar. That means only contacts that have a calendar item are synchronized. Everything else is ignored. So that basically you're reducing your set to a smaller number. As well, if you only want your meetings, your to-dos without any of the contacts that we see in a lot of PDAs, that's what you can do. Just get your meeting to-dos and calls. With our embedding of the contact details on your meetings, you really do not need to sync contacts. Also, contact body text. If you don't need data on your contact body text, you can just disable this. This will improve the sync or speed up dramatically. But if you need the data like a contacts field list or a secondary contact, what we've seen is there's history, and the history is, from our sync perspective, it takes the longest. And the best time is the best thing to do is you don't need 10 years worth of history. You probably need like the last 6 months. So what you can do is set up a history filter and just go back 1 year to, or back 6 months. Go to July 1st of the previous year, and only history after that is considered for the synchronization. On the activities, on another piece that you can speed up on the activity body text is the same thing as the history and notes, and you can disable it. If you don't need it, don't take it. So disable the history list, or just set up a filter for the history on the notes, on the activities, so you don't bring data that is actually not required by you. Otherwise, this is items that when we generate the data, it slows down the system. Also, a little bit better way to improve is just if you need the history to come over, just basically don't bring all the types of history. You can change the types of what call erased. You don't need that. So, or contact link. These are bookkeeping functions within ACT that you can actually exclude from actually coming to your contacts database or to your activities in Outlook. This way you will find the sync to be much faster and will go much faster over long periods of time. So by doing some fairly basic filtering processes, you can make it the synchronization faster. I almost thought I would forget this one, but last but not least, we have the filtering of the activities. The activities, what we've seen, a lot of databases have large amounts of activities. We've seen an individual that has in 1 year has an activity database with 14,000 activities. Most of them basically cleared, unused, and fairly much useless. So filtering out the activities is a big one in speeding up your synchronization. You go to your date filter for the activities and just put a date. You want it just for since 2009. Just go back on the activities to July 1st of 2009. So only the activities from July 1st onwards are considered for synchronization. There's a couple of important parts on this. ACT, well, from what we've seen, tends to not blow up, but blossom in memory when you put a lot of activities. By filtering the activities when you want to synchronize these activities, tends to be a much better way of using ACT and a much better way of using Outlook. And you will find that the sync speed will dramatically improved. I think that's about it. These are the most important things that we've seen on synchronization. Also, clear up your ACT with the history to make sure that the history that you have in ACT is always current, and get rid of any old items there that you may not want to bring over. As a final note, if you set the activities filter and you've already been synchronizing, the synchronizer will try to delete any activities that have been filtered out, especially if they already exist in Outlook. So if you do that, start with an empty Outlook folder. With those activities do not exist in Outlook. Or just use the Outlook clean up your Outlook folder, your calendar folder in Outlook, and start afresh with the activities filter. That should speed it up. But if you do not do that, what will happen is at the next pass, the synchronizer will assume that those activities have to be removed from the synchronization. So changing the activities filter you can do. However, but start with a fresh Outlook and use the Outlook Cleaner to do that.